we go, last one. AP question. A rural county hospital offers several health services. The hospital administrators conduct a poll to determine whether the residents' satisfaction with the available services depends on their gender. A random sample of 1,000 adult county residents was selected. The gender of each respondent was recorded, and each was asked whether she or he was satisfied with the service offered by the hospital. The resulting data are shown in the table below. Part A of the question asks, using a significance level of 0.05, conduct an appropriate test to determine if, for adult residents of this county, there is an association between gender and whether or not they were satisfied with their services offered by the hospital. Okay, so the first thing we should do is start with a hypothesis. So our null hypothesis for this question would be there is no association between gender and satisfaction. The alternate hypothesis would be that there is an association between gender and satisfaction. And to test these hypotheses, we will be using a two-way table chi-squared test. The equation for that is right here. This is what it looks like. And from there I'll move on. So as you can see, I've recreated the table with all the totals right here. And the first thing I'm going to do is check the expected value for all four results. And so here are the expected values for the satisfied male, female, not satisfied male, and not satisfied female. The way you get these expected values is by multiplying the row total by the column total and dividing by the entire table total. So as you can see, I did that right here. And from there, we're able to check our assumptions for the problem. So the first one for a chi-squared test is that 80% of the expected values are above 5. Which you can see all of them are, and then none are less than 1. Again, none of them are. And then also that the sample was an SRS, and it was because it was stated in the problem. Next thing we're going to do is test, do our chi-square test. So what you want to do is go to second matrix, and then hit second matrix, edit, A, and you put in 2 times 2 because there's 2 categories, male and female, and 2 more categories, satisfied, not satisfied. And then you'll enter the table directly from, or the information from the table, just like I did here. From there you can hit stat, go over to test, and go down to your chi-square test. And for observed you'll put in matrix A, the one you just made, expected matrix B, which the calculator will create for you, and then you'll hit calculate, and that'll give you your chi-squared value, your p-value, and your degrees of freedom. So I went ahead and wrote down all the information here, the chi-squared, p-value, and our alpha value that was stated in our question, and then the degrees of freedom. Just to explain how you got that, you do the first 2 categories, male and female, subtract 1, and then you multiply that by the second 2 categories, satisfied and not satisfied, and subtract 1, and that gives you degrees of freedom of 1. And now we can make a statement using that information. We reject the hoe that there is an association between gender and satisfaction because our p-value of 0.042 is lower than our alpha value of 0.05. Last but not least, part B asks, is 800 over 1,000 a reasonable estimate for the proportion of adult country residents who are satisfied with the services offered by the hospital? And explain why or why not. So because it is a simple random sample that has been taken from the population of all residents, 0.8 is a reasonable estimate for the proportion of satisfied county residents. In fact, if you were to take the average of satisfied males over total males and satisfied females over total females, add them together and divide by 2 to get the average of satisfied people in general, you get 0.802, which is extremely close to 0.8, just to further prove the fact.